Right, today's task is to do the box for this miniature. And Ray makes these for me. He makes these little boxes. And just want to make sure I can get this in like that. And all I'm going to be doing now is to coat this in the paste before I paint it. So I'm going to make it look like an outdoor scene. So I'm going to use this texture paste. I'm going to give this a coat of that, and then I'm going to paint the whole thing. I might have to paint trees on the side and blue sky around and things like that, because I've got to make it look like a mill. I'm also going to make a wheel, because mills need wheels. The way I've done the house, I've just put this on as well, put the flower hanging off there. But the way I've done the house, I never thought about putting it in the box, but I'm going to put it at an angle like that so that you can actually see everything. And it'll all tie in with what's around it. It's going to have some gravel on here, and I'm going to attach it to a mill here, to a water mill here, I think. But I'm going to have to go away and look at that and see how I'm going to develop that, and then I'll film it as I go along. For now, I'm just painting it on using a rough brush that I like to use, which I just use for this. And it does dry pretty quick. And I just do it in different directions and then make sure it's all in the same direction. You don't need much. It's the artwork afterwards when you're making it into something that will make it look like it's got a really thick layer on. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it looking like it's in a walled area. I may just do that. I don't use a big brush for this because I just want to be able to do it a little bit at a time, because it dries pretty quick, like I said before. I don't want it drying before I finish an area off. Sorry, I'm not sure how much of this you can see. Right, so I'm going to finish off the rest of the box, and I'll be back. Painted in the blue, but I haven't put the clouds or anything in like that. I'm going to do this bit and may do it like a wall, so it's a walled in place, a walled in area. And then obviously the ground bit's going to be done as well. Right, now what I've done is I've stuck on some, it's this paper, and it looks like brickwork, but I don't want it that colour, I want it darker. So what I do, for me, is I just wipe that over the wood and then take a wet wipe, a child's wet wipe, and then I just colour that in and it spreads it. You know, you can just do it more and more. Hang on, I dropped it. And just give it a really good rub, and I can take the wet wipe and do that to get in the edges. But that's how I do it anyway, and then I end up with a nice brick wall. And like I say, once you put the house in, obviously it's got to have a roof on as well, which is here somewhere. I've got to do that yet. Like that. It will be, not sure if you can see that, but it gives me something to work on, you know, for creating it. Now I'm going to do the floor, and I'll be back. Do you remember, a while back I made this, and I had 2 shelving in it. It was for a garden, but I never used it. So what I've done is I've taken the shelving out, I've popped in a hole, I found a big wheel, and I've made a thing on the back because it needs to be able to stand upright. If I just popped it in without any legs on it, it would just droop. So it would go in like that and then it would fall. So I've put the legs on it to help keep that sturdy. So all I've got to do now, and it just looks like a wheel, is to paint it all. But I'm going to do it all like the dark brown. And then I can cut this off. But I'm going to use it to hold on to while I paint it. So see, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Really, really not fussed. Oh, so easy. Right. So now we've got that. Now I have to pin this in and then I can cut it. I'm going to cut it first actually. I'm going to leave a little bit of a spike on it. Okay, so now I've just got to glue that in. That must go in the right way. Like that. Like that. See, and we've got like a water wheel in there. It really, really doesn't matter. It's only got to look the part. Right, what I'm doing now is I've taken a piece of polystyrene and I've cut the shape out to sit in the corner for my wheel to sit on top. So it's just to make it look like it's on a plinth. Basically, not for any particular reason other than it's a little bit more interesting to see something like that than to have it just sat on the floor plain. So I'm just painting it, and then I'm going to attach it before I actually start and do the flooring, because I've found some, I'll show you, gravel, which is for miniatures. And I'm not sure about doing the grass because I'm not sure if I've any left. We'll see. But I'll be back shortly. Right, now what I've got here, we get it from Petite Properties. You have to look it up online. They only charge £1 for this. I got it from the York, when the York Fair was on. Now, it's just fibre. I'll probably put too much in there. But maybe not, because I need to mix a lot. So I'm going to add some darker stuff in as well. And I use these, they're just to mix it with. And I make them into clumps. Oh, where did I put? Oh, I put them in here. I thought I'd forgotten it then. Do you remember I showed you how to do it? Well, PVA glue's good enough, so I'm just going to get hold of some PVA glue. You need quite a bit. I'm not watering it down. Mix it all in. Actually, you know, I will mix it, put some water with it. I've got some here. It was quite thick, that. Normally it's a little bit runnier than that. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't use everything you've got, because it dries and you can use it for later. That's from last time. That's what I had left from my last project. Now, another way you could do this, if you haven't got the funds to buy it, and I have done it myself, so I know it works, is to use the same liquid, the same glue, with a touch of water, like I've done, but get some fibre, some wool. Wool that's got quite good fibres in it. I mean, you really do have to chop them up into pieces, and just do this with the wool. Cut them into tiny pieces, and just do that, and you'll end up with the same thing. It really does work, because I've tried it when I couldn't afford the other stuff. You know, but you've got to do what you got to do. Right, that's looking really good. I can actually mix a little bit more in that. And I've got myself a really good batch for what I need. Now, I can wait for that to dry, or I can attach it while it's drying. And I think I'm going to attach it while it's drying. So I'm just going to put those to one side. The other thing I have is I use this, which is grass, that I cut and put tufts here and there when I need them. Right, so here's my box. And hopefully, I'm going to make sure, well, hopefully I'll see if you can see. Because it is tricky when you've only got a small space to work from. Okay, I'm going to lift this up more. Okay, I'm going to see if I can do this, because that is what I'm going to be doing. This section. Now I've got that on, drying. It will dry. It will dry onto that. And all I have to do, and I know it can be messy, because it can. And I just want to add bits of moss growing here and there. Oops, a daisy, I'm going to have to pick that up. I'm just scraping my nail against it and it just runs it up the wall. So make it look more natural. So like I say, I will take pictures for you and share what I've done. I'm going to move a bit of that as well. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's good. Right, I'm going to go wash my hands. I've not got much left out of that. And I'll speak to you soon.